In the day and age of performative politics, the Democrats have come up with an absolutely brilliant troll of the Republicans and the new taco moniker that has been assigned to Trump based on his constant putting on, taking off, being tough, and then backing down when it comes to his trade war on many different fronts with many different countries. But before we look at this brilliant troll, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. Let me know what you think about this story. So let's head on over here to Axios. DNC rents taco truck to mock Trump on taco slogan. The DNC is commandeering a taco truck to mock Trump's apparent fury at the slogan, "Trump always chickens out," or taco, Axios has learned. Democrats clearly think they have found a way to get under the president's skin. Trump was asked about the mantra used by Wall Street traders to predict his response to tariff-induced market dips at a press conference Wednesday, and he lashed out in response. "Don't ever say what you said. That's a nasty question," the president replied. The DNC will park a taco truck nearby the Republican National Committee's headquarters on Capitol Hill with a graphic of Trump in a chicken suit and the "Trump always chickens out" slogan. The truck will be there between noon and 2 p.m. on Tuesday and will actually serve free tacos. And apparently it ran out in an hour after serving tacos. This is absolutely brilliant because, as I'll show you here, it apparently very much so is getting under the White House's skin. And it's almost like the White House has never heard of the Streisand effect, where if you talk about how much you dislike something, really what you're doing is you're bringing more attention to it, and you're telling the Democrats, keep using that line of attack because it's obviously gotten under Trump's skin. And we know that getting under Trump's skin is something that he very, very much dislikes when that happens. Trump wants to always be seen as the most powerful guy in the room and in control of every negotiation, and, you know, the head honcho, always in control. So the fact that any reporting is going around on something getting under his skin in the first place shows that it's definitely working, and is definitely something that we should keep hammering on. Again, in a day and age of performative politics, when this kind of stuff gets attention big time. And I feel like the Democrats maybe have been a little slow to kind of wake up and realize that this kind of performative politics is something that is very effective in this day and age. But I'm glad to see that they're catching on to it here. Here we have JD Vance's response to this taco truck. Vice President JD Vance slammed Democrats on Tuesday over a taco truck they deployed to mock President Trump. "We have the lamest opposition in American history," Vance wrote on X. So this is what DNC Chair Ken Martin had to say about Vance's response. "Trump always chickens out. We're just bringing the tacos to match. Instead of realizing his tariff chaos is wrecking the economy, Trump continues to drag America towards more economic pain, and the rest of the world sees Trump for exactly what he is, a chicken." This is a term coined by Financial Times journalist Robert Armstrong. So, yeah, there has to be consequences for faking the world out and faking Americans out multiple times when it comes to these tariffs, and putting them on and putting them off and confusing people and causing disarray and anxiety. There has to be a political price to pay for that. And the Democrats here, I think, are very much so chipping away at different sort of avenues that they can cause political pain for Trump's indecision on the tariffs well before any of the tariffs actually have any sort of tangible effect on the economy. There has been some effect on the economy that the tariffs have already caused, but really the full brunt of the tariffs affecting the economy has been sort of dulled by Trump's taco nature. And I think that even if Trump decides to not go forward with implementing the more full, wide-ranging scope of the tariffs that he originally announced on Liberation Day, I'll put that in air quotes because America certainly was not liberated. That political price can be definitely played out by the Democrats. Again, even if there isn't a wide-ranging scope of tariffs that is re-implemented, just this indecision of on again and off again is something that we can hammer away on, as the Democrats are doing here. Now I want to show you a new CBO report that shows just how much these tariffs that Donald Trump is seeking to implement are going to absolutely wreck the American economy, and really why the Democrats are hammering home on this taco moniker, because what we might be able to do is we might be able to fake Trump out into going ahead with some of these absolutely disastrous tariffs, which may cause an even deeper, broader political price to pay in the midterms than just his taco nature, putting them on, taking them off. The economic impact of these tariffs is something that the Democrats will have absolutely no problem running on, based on these numbers here from the CBO. And this is brand new. This just came out today, where it says, "Dear Leader Schumer, Ranking Member Merkley, and Ranking Member Wyden, this letter responds to your request for the CBO to estimate the budgetary and economic effects of increases in tariffs implemented through executive action between January 6 and May 13. The following estimates for the 2025 to 2035 period reflect the effects relative to the budget and economic projections that the CBO published on January 17. Before accounting for how the change in tariffs would affect the size of the economy, CBO estimates that the increase in collection of tariffs would reduce primary deficits by 2.5 trillion. That estimate accounts for how flows of US imports and exports would adjust in response to the tariffs imposed as of May 13th. By lowering federal borrowing, those tariffs collections would reduce federal outlays for interest by 0.5 trillion. Okay. In CBO's, here's page 2. In CBO's assessment, the change in tariffs will reduce the size of the U.S. economy. The changes in tariffs will reduce the size of the U.S. economy, in part because of tariffs imposed by other countries in response to the increases in U.S. tariffs. Also, after accounting for that change in the size of the economy, CBO estimates that the changes in tariffs will reduce total federal deficits by 2.8 trillion. Reductions in investments and productivity stemming from higher tariffs will be partially offset by increases in resources available for private investment resulting from the reduction in federal borrowing. CBO estimates that on net, real inflation adjusted economic output in the United States will fall as a result. Inflation will increase by an annual average of 0.4 percentage points in 2025 and 2026 in CBO's estimation, reducing the purchasing power of households and businesses. So, and it goes deep into the effect on the economy of each and every particular tariff. But overall, the economy will be weakened and inflation will go up, right? Even if the deficit is lowered, ultimately the effects on other parts of the economy will totally overshadow any benefit that we would have seen from a lowering of the deficit. So everything that Donald Trump is telling us about these tariffs is a straight up lie. And what's really being shown is that Donald Trump's negotiating ability, something that he built his whole brand on, and he really wants to burn into people's head that he's some sort of master negotiator, master deal maker, is really that sort of idea is having its feet put to the fire right now in a lack of deals being made with other countries across the world, and a very much large increase in consumer anxiety in the United States, as well as a weakening of how the rest of the world views and trusts the United States to be a player in the global economic scene. And again, even if the more wide-ranging tariffs that Donald Trump announced and then rescinded, even if they never take effect, Donald Trump's taco tendencies are already hurting U.S. consumers, the U.S. economy, and the future of our nation quite significantly. And there needs to be a political price to pay for that. And I'm very much glad that the Democrats are exploiting that. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.